Hey, got a minute? I just think we need to touch base on some stuff. I'd like to talk, do a temperature check, make sure we're on the same page. Just you and me connecting for a minute. Awesome. Thank you, sweetness. Come here, sit with me. Let's get comfortable. Because comfortable is nice, and I can hold your hand. Is that okay? Okay, let me know if you want me to stop. So, I have some stuff on my mind, some worries that are sort of lingering for a bit now. So I wanted to talk to you and share my thoughts and get your perspective and see if we could find some solutions together that might help us move forward. Because I don't want to stew in negative thoughts. I don't want anything to fester. And you always say you want me to be honest with you, so this is me doing that. Being honest about stuff that I've been thinking about. Does that make sense? You sure? I'm feeling like you don't really want to talk to me right now. Your body language, your tone, you are very closed off. It feels like what I have to say isn't particularly welcome. No, I get why. It's an observation, not a blame thing. I know why you're sitting like that. You're in a bad mood, and that sort of permeates your whole self lately. And that bad mood, it's justified. It's been a really rough few weeks. You've been working really hard. You're exhausted. There's a lot on your mind. Family stuff, work stuff, all of it. I get that 100%. I don't blame you at all for being in a rough place. No, I don't. Everyone has rough days or weeks, sometimes even more. We're only human, right? But here's the thing. You're in a rough place, but you're also in a relationship. We are in a relationship. So how you act affects me too, whether you intend it to or not. Hey, listen, like I said, I don't blame you for being in a bad mood. I would be too. But being in a bad mood or a dark place doesn't mean it's okay to treat the people around you with anything less than respect. Yeah, you are. You don't mean to, but you are hurting me lately, which is why I wanted to sit down and talk some stuff out with you. Okay, well, the first thing I think we should check in on is, do you still want this to work? Do you want to be in a relationship with me? Okay, good, me too. I'm glad we agree on that. I do. I love you very much. That's why I'd rather talk things out than just fester and let things get bad. I know everyone says communication is key, but it's so true. Even if it's an awkward conversation, talking is the only way we can get to the bottom of what we're both feeling and thinking and wanting. So if that's what we both want, if we love each other and we want this to work, then we both have to make a certain amount of effort towards our partnership. Not like hard work, not like constantly struggling, just consideration. Remembering that there's another person here who matters. Remembering that we're a team. I think that's something that's getting lost lately. Yeah, we don't feel like a team. You're in a bad spot and you're handling that by pulling back, shutting down, and sometimes even lashing out in my direction. So I end up feeling like a punching bag, or that my feelings don't matter. I end up feeling like when the going gets tough, you'll be more likely to turn on me than to stand beside me and work together. I get that, I really do. You have no control over so much that you've been going through lately. You aren't choosing to have to deal with all of this. It's just happening, and I know it's hard. It's so hard on you, I can see that. But even if that explains how you've been acting, it doesn't excuse it. Nope. I don't care how rough it's been. I don't care how much anyone is going through. Being in a bad place doesn't ever give someone the right to treat other people badly. There's no such thing as a pass to be a jerk. No matter how much trauma there is, no matter how much someone is struggling. And I will never ever be okay with people who say things like, well, yeah, maybe I said or did mean things, but I was having a bad day. Or, sure, I said stuff I didn't mean, but I was just upset. We're always responsible for our actions and our words, no matter how much we're going through. And lashing out at the people you love is a terrible way to cope with rough times. It isolates you and alienates those who care. It isn't an act of love. It's a disregard for it. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what I've been feeling from you lately, which again, I know is not intentional. I'm not saying that you're trying to hurt me or trying to make me feel bad, not remotely. And I also realize that everything I'm perceiving is through my own lens and my own filters. But to me, it feels like you've been locking me out. Let me give you an example. Your body language. You've been very standoffish, not remotely affectionate, not even particularly kind. You've been short with me when you talk, sometimes even snappish. Your demeanor is very cold. I feel like you're not at all interested in me or my day, but you're also not really sharing what's going on with you and yours. You're not telling me about how you're feeling with stuff. You're barely even telling me what you're going through. And again, I'm on your team. I'm your partner. I'm the one who's there for you more than anyone else, because I love you. No, that's not my point. I don't expect you to tell me everything, or pile all your feels on me. I don't expect total and complete honesty at all times. That's kind of ridiculous. You don't need to walk into a room and just trauma dump. But you're going so far the other way that I don't even really feel welcome in your space. I don't feel like it's okay for me to even ask about how it's going. I find myself walking on eggshells around you in case you take my head off, or in case you just turn your back and walk away. I know how important it can be to have alone time. I appreciate that. I like alone time myself sometimes. You know that. But that's not what this is. This is a total shutting out. If you need alone time, take it. But don't forget, you're not actually completely alone. I'm here too. How you treat me matters too. I know, you're used to being alone. You're used to being able to process stuff in your way on your time without having to think at all about anyone else. But that's not the case now. We're together. You don't have to be alone anymore. You don't have to handle everything on your own. You have me now. And I will always go to bat for you. You know that. I will always fight for you and for us. Whether that means listening to you talk about your day, or giving you space to be alone, or making you your favorite dinner so you have at least one bright spot. I'm there for it. I'm there for all of it. But you have to let me be there. When you shut down and go cold, I feel like you don't want me around. I feel like I'm making things worse just by being here. Which I know that's not what you want me to feel. Of course not. You want me to be happy, the same as I want you to be happy. This isn't malice. You're not remotely a bad person. You're an amazing person, actually. Caring and kind and honestly awesome. I wouldn't love you otherwise. What this is just lack of thought, lack of consideration. When the going gets tough, it's sometimes easy to revert to previous states of being. Old coping strategies, old habits. Even if they're less than healthy, or even if they aren't useful for your current situation. You are reverting to old ways, but forgetting that you aren't that person anymore. You're in a relationship now. I know it's hard. Opening up is really hard. And like I said, you don't have to tell me everything or give me all the info all the time. That's exhausting. But just try to observe your own actions and words. Recognize that snapping at me without thinking or stomping off in anger, those aren't constructive. I know you don't mean them, so maybe pay a little more attention and try to avoid them, if that makes sense. That's the thing. I'm here for you no matter what. If you want to talk, if you want to sit in silence, if you want to be left alone, if you want a hug that lasts all afternoon, I'm here for all of it. I just need to not be a punching bag. I need to not feel like you're only nice to me when it's easy for you. I need to feel like my partner, the person I've chosen to go through this life with, is on my side too. I mean, you want me to open up to you about stuff I'm feeling, right? Yeah, that's why I decided to have this conversation in the first place. I trust you when you say you want my honesty. I trust you with my feelings and my thoughts, and you can trust me with yours. I know, sometimes when I'm struggling, I don't talk about it much. Sometimes I have stuff I need to process too, but even then, I try to be kind. I always try to thank you for being there, even if I'm in a bad place. I try to make sure you know how loved and appreciated you are, even when I'm dealing with depression or anxiety or anything else. Because you are my person, my sweetness. You're my rock, my constant, even in the worst storms. I trust you to hold my hand and give me something to cling to when things get particularly rough. I trust you so much. Now I just need you to trust me. Trust me to respect your boundaries, listen when you talk, and keep your feelings at the forefront of everything I do. Trust me to look after you and consider you and be here for you even when you're in a bad place. Trust me to love you, good days and bad. Don't push me aside when things get harder. Hold my hand. I got you. Always. Bad days are a thing. Bad moods are a thing. We can't always do anything about them. And like I said, with all you've been going through lately, I do not expect perky from you. I don't expect smiles or silliness or anything remotely like that. Process what you need to process. Take the time you need to deal with stuff. Do what's right for you. Just don't take any of your negativity out on me. Don't target me with harshness or coldness just because you're in a bad place and not stopping to consider your own actions. Whether you lean on me or not, and I hope you do, just don't step on me. Does that make sense? I'm glad. I'm sorry it's been so hard. I hate seeing you struggle. Of course, sweetness. Come here. I love you so much. It's going to be okay, got it? We are going to be okay. And hey, thank you for listening to me. No, I mean it. I know the last thing you need right now is more on your plate, but I didn't want to let things get bad. And I'm grateful that you're open to letting me talk about my feelings when I need to. I'm really grateful that you're open to positive change so we can keep learning and growing and adapting to each other. That's what it's about, right? Learning to be better partners and a stronger team. Every time we talk out something like this, we get better. And that's half on you, so thank you. Mwah. You want to be left alone now? You sure? I can leave you to it if you need that. Okay, if you say so. In that case, here. Let's pull the blanket over us, put on something mindless to watch, and just vibe. That sound okay? Turn the brains off for a while and relax? Good. Snuggle up, partner. Like I said, I got you. Hey, sweetness. If you like what you hear, don't forget to click subscribe so you can hear more. Also, check me out over on Twitch. And if you want to support me, Patreon. Thanks for listening.